Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you are watching the show. Thank you for being here. We have an excellent panel assembled today to talk about, on this special edition, Father's Day. So today I would like to say hello to the regular panelists, but first let's acknowledge our guests. And the lady in the middle, one of my favorite humans to hang out with every Sunday for Welcome to Florida, which I affectionately refer to as WTF, is the very famous and possibly muted Lorena Creole. What's going on, Lorena?
Oh, God, I pulled a culture. Yeah, I keep muting myself before I get on the screen. I'm glad to finally be here with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I'm usually lurking and cleaning during this time, so it's good to be on the panel right now.
I'm very glad you're here. It's been a couple months since you've come by. I'm glad that you're here. And and you've been showing everybody all of the lovely places that you visited this week. So that's been wonderful.
Yep, it's been great being in the, they've removed the capacity cap. So now it's back to the mass of humanity at the theme parks. It's crazy. It's good and bad at the same time, but at least it's a step back to, some semblance of normalcy.
No, it is. It's kind of a zoo. And of course, it's also very hot.
Yes, it was overcast yesterday and I was happy because it was only, I think, 85.
No, that's still kind of warm with the humidity. Yeah.
Give me 60-degree weather any day.
Well, now I need to introduce our very special guest who's making his first appearance here on the Sunday Culture Review, and I think on my channel, the man known as Comic Chat. Otherwise, it's Danny. What's going on, my friend?
How you doing? Thanks for the invite, man. I'm glad to be here.
I am very glad that you're here, and I have jealousy for your mic setup, so it looks like I'm going to have to up my game with my mic. But
man, it's like Joe Rogan status there.
Danny said
negative.
Well, Danny does some pretty cool videos. He did one, I think, recently questioning whether or not it was those of us that do YouTube, if we're the problem with entertainment in some form or fashion. I think that was a recent one, right, Danny?
Yes, I did that just last week. I really think we are our own worst enemy in some aspects. Not all, but some.
Yeah, and again, I'm very glad Danny's here. He's incredibly thoughtful. Always love his insights. So this is going to be a lot of fun. But today is going to be a little fast and loose. It's going to be a little different because we're not really going to focus on some subjects that would normally irritate, me and maybe you and others. We're going to focus on some cool stuff like the Father's Day aspect of the day. But let's get through the rest of the panel. We've introduced our guests, and then we will get going and say hi to the chat along the way. We've got the ever lovely AFK Bard joining us from parts unknown in the Northwest. What's going on, AFK Bard?
Hi, I am busy suppressing my dog's voice again today. So
okay.
He's got a lot of opinions on fathers, but I'm not going to let him say it as best I can.
All right. Well, that's perfectly fine. Creative use of the mute button is always an effective tool. And of course, right next to AFK Bard is our own version of, or the future version, or maybe the best version of himself, Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast. I always like to call him our Joe Rogan, but he's got to get the Odyssey thing going because YouTube is holding the man down. So how's it going, Wes?
Man.
I'm doing well. I'm not the best version of myself yet, but I am better than the version of myself from yesterday. So that's a win.
Well, there you go. It is. It's absolutely a win. And of course,
I like Wes's setup, man. I like the way he get his mic.
Yeah, no,
He's
having
got
it up
lights
overhead.
now. I just saw he got lights with the shoji screen there. Very nice.
Yeah. That area doubles as his massage parlor screening for business study. Right?
Yeah,
I
author
wasn't
Stephen
going to say
Walton's
anything, but
author Stephen Walton's not going to let me live that one down. I didn't even think of that, but I think it's the little dots. If I get rid of the little dots, then it'll look.
I love it. I think I love your setup. I think everybody's just jealous.
Nice.
Studio C, the gaming chamber, I call it.
There you go. And
working on mine.
My studio is everything. It is. I do games. I do my videos. I do everything sitting in the same chair all the time. So I wish I had alternate locations, unless I go obviously up north, and then I have studio in a bag. So, but anyway, moving right along, we of course have the amazing Shellbach. Or in this case, it's Shell Dad. What's up, Shell Dad? TJC.
Hey.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good night. Wherever you are. and remember.
That's right. Dad is the toughest job you will ever love. That's right.
Where's my mug, Paulie? I still haven't gotten my mug.
Hey, I'm guilty of not giving Paulie my information. I'm going to satisfy that, and we'll have Paulie get me my mug, and then we can all have a Paulie mug for these streams. So, and then
Paulie's gonna get on to me, like, because every time I show this mug and I'm on with Wes, he
says the same thing.
Getting mad.
Paulie's gonna see that footage and he's gonna be like, man, just quit using the mug, man. Just quit using the mug.
No. Paulie's a great creator, very good friend. He actually did his first member stream, I think, yesterday. Yeah. Anyway, last but not least, and of course, I'm sure we'll have a couple other folks join us. But to just start off with is our Mirasphere's origin, the writer extraordinaire. I'm about to the point where I can give him some feedback on the first part of his book. I can't wait to do that. And I'm actually may give you your feedback before I do Kai's book report, which I get called out on all the time. So. But beyond that, hey, what's going on? I know you're a dad multiple times over. This must be a fun day for you.
Yeah. Actually, my wife's working tonight, so we're not doing anything today, but we're going to do something next week. But yeah, we're having fun. We're just enjoying. He's asleep now, so Minisphere might be killing if he wakes up.
All right. Well, if we have a Minisphere appearance, it'll make a lot of people happy. And of course, I knew there were going to be at least one or two others that would roll in, just a little delayed. And again, because we all have family obligations, our very good friend and talented story creator, and apparently someone without a beard or hair anymore, Storyman Jack. What's up, my man?
Yeah, I actually look normal, right?
Yeah. Well, hey, you look like you look like you're about to ask me, for my tax returns or something.
Really?
I'm just teasing.
I got new glasses too. So. Yeah.
Well, this is fun, and I'm excited. And of course, I'm glad you're here. Anything special you going on with you that you want to let everybody know about?
Working on stories. About to finish up a rewrite of Circles Riven, which will be on Indiegogo in December.
That's going to be great.
Nice.
Totally worth it. I'm glad you went on and pursued that. That's going to be awesome. And again, I mean, Storyman is willing to give his stories away for you to use for comics, for television projects, for films, short films, stuff like that, as long as you give him credit. That's all he wants.
That's it. No money, just credit.
Yeah. But he does a lot of custom creation because the guy makes his own music, does his own narration, puts his own, illustration stuff together for the most part. Although he's looking for talented artists from time to time. It sounds like he found one to get around the corner on something.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. Well, enough with promotion. I want to get down to a real quick hello to everybody in the chat, and then we will get started with our Dad's Day edition. And while I say hello to Six and Memes and Apollo Patriot and Jedi Knight Lego Darth Barbie fan, that is a super long name. Diablo Dame, Lord Thoth. We've got Keely Chow. Roof Korean is in the house. The ever lovely Tina Bojan is here. We've got Eric Winberg and so many more, guys. I really appreciate being here. There's the very talented Script Doctor. And happy Father's Day indeed, my friend. Absolutely. Eric Winberg sends us a super chat of $5. Says, happy Sunday, y'all. Thanks for taking time away on this holiday. Absolutely. I have arranged my day so that I can do this, and others have as well, and I appreciate their ability to do so.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, thank you. And Wes Moody for $2 says, hail to the best chat on YouTube. Absolutely, Wes. You didn't have to do that, my friend. You're always welcome to say it. Everybody's saying hi to Danny in the chat because Danny's awesome. And Lorena Creole with a super sticker. Thank you, love. You didn't need to do that at all. And let's see, we're cruising right along. We've got Philip A. Demick in the house. We've got Barack Dermis. I'm trying to do this quickly because I have been told I say hello to people for like 20 minutes. Mutant Bamhammer's in the house saying, Oyos, oh my boyos. Well, Oyos to you, my friend. We've got Zacharot 315, the Islington girl. We've got so many more folks. Thank you for coming in, guys, being here early. Low Spec Linux Laptop is in the house. Hopefully you're not up on a roof again. We've got, let's see, Scott Jennings is here. And of course, one of our folks that is a comics division supporter. You can always tell with the end of the name. And it's too early for me to say those words, but I will do it at some point. Princess Rennie is in the house. You can see Princess Rennie here, and of course, Dexy Doodle.
Char writing a story for Dick's Division and the Vagguard. It's really fun. It's going to turn out well.
I can't wait. I can't wait for that. That's inspiring. And now, Shellback, we are done saying hello to everyone. Do you feel better? All right, very good. I want to say first and foremost, because I don't know how long Danny can stay with us. Danny is probably seen in many ways as a role model for very good reasons. But Danny, can you think of an influential male figure in your life, a father figure, role model, anyone? And it can be someone in pop culture and entertainment, because I truly believe that we have influences from that sphere. At least most of us would.
I got several. First of all, my dad, I think he shaped me. No, he's not famous or anything, but he shaped me into the man I am today. Because he taught me to speak your mind. Some things you got to pick your battles. Pick your battles, speak your mind when it's the appropriate time to do so. Try to treat everybody right. I'm in a position now, I'm in law enforcement, where I can make decisions now for the greater good. When you're starting off as a young rookie, you got to kind of do what things do. But now I'm kind of at the top now. So I try to do my best to make sure that officers out there now are trained appropriately and do the right things. I'm very conscious of that. It ticks me off when people always lump all officers into the same one as the few knuckleheads that make mistakes. Right. So I really, whenever there's tough decisions that I kind of struggle with, I always call my dad. And he is a man of faith. He's a preacher, and he's like, Danny, well, this is biblical. And then he puts it into real life and breaks it down for me and makes my decisions a lot easier, the really tough decisions. So he is really my go-to when I'm kind of struggling, because sometimes I let my emotions cloud my judgment. And one thing he taught me, one thing I learned, never make a decision in anger. You got to quadruple that in law enforcement. You cannot get mad and make a decision. You got to cool down and think it through, kind of like playing chess. You got to think it through. So
all my mistakes in life has either been because I was selfish or because I was angry.
You make a decision in anger, boy, you're going to be on the 6 o'clock news. And I ain't trying to feel that. I'm not trying to deal with that.
No, absolutely not. Well, that's well said, Danny. Thank you. And of course, we have to ask Lorena, if you had the good fortune of having a very influential male role model, a father figure, a father.
Well, yeah, of course, it's like I had, my dad,
Mhm.
but I would have to say more influential than him would have been his father, my grandfather. He was a World War II vet. He grew up in a time in the South when it was segregated. And despite that, taught me the importance of keeping your word, being true to who you are, being upstanding, no matter what's going on or who may be against you. You combat that with excellence. And he taught me pride in country, because this is a man who served for a military in a country that didn't necessarily love him, but he did it anyway because he knew that he was blessed to be in this country. So I learned a lot of that from him. So I couple that with George Jefferson from the Jeffersons.
Oh my! Yeah. Oh,
Businessman, seven dry cleaning stores, always kept 20s in his wallet.
Yeah.
Kind of tended to say some things before he thought, but deep down, he was a good guy. Like I remember, his heart was in the right place.
I think that's kind of the XY chromosome. We all do that. We all say things before we think.
Yeah.
Yeah, with him it was just funny, and some things where he didn't talk about. Like I remember the episode where Louise found out that he was sending money to this address in Harlem, and she thought that he was having an affair, and it turns out that it was where he grew up. And he was just like, me, my mother, my brothers, it's like we didn't have any money. And he said, one day when I made it, I was going to make life easier for the next person. So this woman, she was a single mother. She was getting money like every week. She said, I don't know where it came from, but she's just like, I'm grateful for it. And she had asked Louise, do you know who that is? And she was like, no, I don't know who it is. And she was like, Georgia, why didn't you say something? He was like, nah, probably thought it was stupid.
Yeah, and there was such great lessons there, and that was a program that I watched with my grandparents. I have to say that George Jefferson would have been the first choice, but I love that you picked that out. That's fantastic. I love it. Isn't it weird we can always?
We had to pick
Go
a
ahead,
pop
Danny.
culture dad. I didn't know we had to pick a pop culture dad.
No, you don't. Absolutely not. There are father figures in pop culture and entertainment we are definitely going to talk about. But no, I wanted to know you personally, those influential folks in your life. You did a perfect job, and I'm going to do the same thing you did, sir. Believe me. Well, okay. Let's go. Let's start off with AFK, since AFK is next to me. A father figure, role model, thoughts?
Well, honestly, I mostly have looked into the entertainment stuff for that. I've got a dad, but I'm one of those sorry stories of parents getting divorced and mom not letting you see the dad for. So it's I don't really have that side in my life as much. I have it, but I don't have a strong father figure kind of. So
right.
For what it's worth, I love the guy.
Yeah.
For being there when he could be, it was important to me.
Was there another person that stepped into that role for you as a father figure, role model?
No, not really.
Okay.
Sometimes I know everybody's this awesome person, but no, it's there's a lot of cool people out there that have had a spot in my life. So.
Well, father figures don't always have to be male. because I know plenty of females that really laid down the law in a way that a father figure normally would. But yeah, so all right, well, fair enough, AFK, and but we'll move to Wes. Wes,
Well, I had very young parents. They were 18 and 19 when they had my older brother, and 20 and 21 when they had me. So it was interesting having really young parents. I remember walking with my mom, and everybody's like, "Oh, your little brother's so cute," and she's like, "No, that's my son." And they would be like, and so my father was a very young man, and so he was not like your traditional parents, and he would do stuff like he was very into martial arts. And so one of the things he would do is my brother and I would be playing, and he would climb on the roof with like a blowgun, and he'd put Q-tips in it, and he'd go and shoot us in the neck when we were running around the backyard. And he would do stuff. And, yeah, he'd get a big kick out of it. So he was like a big kid. He was more like an older brother than maybe like a father. And so there wasn't a lot of wisdom, I think, to be dispensed there, but he had a lot of energy. And that was different. It was unique, and I can appreciate the uniqueness of that upbringing.
Kind of grew up together.
Yeah, well, I think he's still growing up. He's still got some stuff he needs to work out, but that's all right.
Well, and again, I mean, it's everybody's experience is going to vary. This gives everybody an opportunity to understand where we're coming from. So, and this day is important because again, we've all have that person that role model, and if we're fortunate, more than one. Let's go ahead and skip to the bottom then, and Storyman, go ahead, my friend.
Well,
thoughts on this?
I mean, even when as a child, when people asked me who my hero was, it was my father. This is a man who didn't graduate high school, had 3 kids by the time he was 22, and was just a construction. He roofed houses. That's all he knew how to do. And I remember several years where, we lived in a house that didn't even have a floor for the first year. It was dirt, and he had to put floor in it. But we always had Christmas. We always did fun things. He always took us out and did stuff. And now he runs a multi-million-dollar corporation.
Wow.
And that is because of that value of hard work. And he's like, never give up, just work. Yeah. Even if it's for nothing, just work. Yeah. And that's what's gotten me through life, even through my down times. I'd go bag groceries if I couldn't find anything else. Yeah. It's because I couldn't stand not working, because that's how I was raised.
Yeah, that work ethic that you get, that was driven into many of us by our role models, our father figures. Absolutely.
When I was 10 years old, I was carrying shingles up a ladder, and I didn't get allowance. If I didn't help him, he didn't get paid. We didn't eat.
Yeah.
Like my kids, like, allowance. I'm like, when you start doing stuff, that's just the way I was raised,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as far as pop culture, I'd say John Voight was a big influence on me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, in a lot of those roles. Absolutely.
Yeah. I remember, I don't know what it was. It was like a afternoon, something you might watch on Street Smarts, right?
Right.
He was like a knight, and he taught this little kid how to fight. That was a really influential movie. I don't even know what the name of the movie was, but it stuck with me. Some of the scenes in that movie really stuck with me, about how he was teaching this kid how you don't necessarily have to hurt somebody to stand up for yourself, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I have those same kinds of memories for different pop culture elements. So I understand that. Absolutely.
How about
and of course
Anaconda?
Oh yeah.
Anaconda.
The best part of that movie.
Well,
other than J-Lo's shirt getting wet, but
Wow. Okay. Well, there went some toxicity. I love you guys. All right. Well, let's go to somebody who's actively being a father at the moment with Minisphere. We have Mirasphere. Mirasphere, your thoughts, because obviously you're trying to be a role model as well, right?
Yeah. I'm working I take care of these ones as much as I can, and since I'm a stay-at-home dad now, I was working security, and then my wife graduated nursing.
Yeah.
So she's a traveling nurse, so she drives like sometimes 6 hours a day to get back and forth from whatever, but she makes money doing it. And so, and paying for babysitters way too expensive right now. So they were like, okay. But
Yeah,
anyways,
so-
my father figure would be my dad, of course. Both my parents are pastors for the Salvation Army. Everybody knows the Salvation Army, you know, they work a lot, especially during the Christmas times. And, you know, I spent most of my childhood in the Salvation Army churches, volunteering in, you know, kitchens and all kinds of stuff. That's why, you know, I was constantly in a homeless, you know, helping out, taking care of like the kid, you know, doing dishes and doing whatever I could to help out around the church. And like they had homeless shelters there. And, you know, I helped out during the Christmas time ringing bells. So if you ever know you're stuck out in like negative weather, blizzard out, you're ringing bells in Michigan and Wisconsin. Yeah, I did that. But my dad was always great. After my mom passed away not too long ago, a couple years ago, and my dad decided it was time that he did what he wanted to do, and he became a missionary. So now he's working in Thailand he's working with orphans in Thailand, and he got remarried over there, and is helping out a local pastor take care of some orphans. Because if you don't know, the Thailand government no longer doesn't take care of their orphans. Period. They don't.
Holy cow!
Oh, wow.
And so it's up to the local churches to do all of it. So they're raising money. They bought like a campground looking area, and they have like, you know, stuff like that to help the kids. And he's been over there for a couple of years now, and he comes back and forth. But yeah, you know, my dad, you know, he's a good guy. Always been there and always supported us. And it was tough. He was, you know, my mom was the one that helped, you know, center him all the time. And after she was gone, he was lost for a while. But yeah. You know, let's see, pop culture wise, it would be like Stan Lee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know, Stan Lee, because I've always loved like Spider-Man and all the the good messaging, not the crap they do nowadays, but like, you know, great power, you know, great responsibility, and all these other things they used to teach us. You know, comics used to help, you know, and then
they had values once upon
Tolkien and, you know, Lord of the Rings and all these other authors that I grew up reading and stuff like that. That's, you know. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, you're right. And thank you. Wow. That's awesome, dude. I can see why your father would be such a role model. That's fantastic. Shell Dad, who is a dad, a good dad, I think you're a good dad, but go ahead. I'm sure you had role models along the way. You ended up working for, or working for us in the Navy.
Yeah. Which I do blame my brother and my father for, along with a great uncle. You know, it's I almost went the route of mirror sphere, you know, to the Marine Corps, but I ended up going more, you know, quote
unquote, to the lady side,
family tradition, you know, and
no, I mean, hey, you guys give those, you give those Marines a ride everywhere they need to go.
Yeah, great tactics.
Really?
I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing.
That reminds me of a story. The first time I ever saw my father cry was the day he dropped me off to go to the Air Force.
Wow.
My mom tried to kidnap me.
Wow.
She drove in the van, was like, "Get in the van, we're leaving." I'm like,
no,
I can't. And then she's like, "Get in the van."
I'm stifling a joke some Army guys would tell me about the Air Force.
Oh boy.
They used to call you guys the Chair Force.
Well, yes, for the most part, yes.
It's funny just listening to
because
all the armed forces kind of razz every other branch.
They always do.
It's funny to listen to.
We could pick on each other.
Well, and we would just say that the Army guys weren't smart enough to sit in a chair.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
but you know, I mean, it's all fun. We're all brothers.
It is. It's just it's hilarious because I worked in Intel, so I would hear just like all the razzing that's going on. It's like, no, this is why you need to vet my request first. You know, so they're not smart enough.
You're the guys who would give us patrols at 3:00 in the morning because there's a terrorist guys coming, and so we'd sit out in the middle of the desert waiting for hours and hours, going, I could be asleep right now in my cot, and nothing would show up, and we'd come back like 10 minutes later, we got another report. They're going. It's like, no, we're going to bed.
I can neither confirm or deny that. I'm just the person who provides the check. Who made that person tell
There you go.
Guess what? This is the report you got.
Well, I like I didn't mean to derail us with a lot of military humor, but it runs in my family. We have warring factions and different elements of my family that I grew up with because they all serve differently. So, but beyond that,
it makes holidays really fun.
Yeah, Shellback is rounding out what he had to say. So yeah, go ahead, my man.
Well, the thing too, I am a child of divorce. My parents got divorced when I was 11, but and so I didn't spend as much time as one should with their father. After that.
Mm-hmm.
But he still set a decent example for a dad as far as showing like work ethic and stuff like that, and but my even though he's my brother, my brother's like, has been a good influence in the dad department as well.
Yeah.
And I had like a couple of great uncles that I grew up with that that were good dad examples, and there's a plethora of TV and movie dads that I grew up watching, that put on that, good role model. But, kind of bringing it back a little bit, the with military, with military dads, you gotta tip your hat, because I mean, like Mearsphere, he he's got him a newborn there, and a lot of military fathers, like my own personal example, my firstborn, he was born on December 6th, and I left for a 6-month deployment on December 7th.
Ooh.
Wow.
And that happens quite often in the military. So
wow.
We have a couple guys who never got to meet their kids. So
yeah. Yeah, that's rough. I want to acknowledge a couple super chats, and then I think I'll talk a little bit about my role models, and then we'll move into some pop culture dads that we all can probably get our arms around and get excited about to talk about. We have the Atlantean for a $2 super chat saying, "Hail Culture and Panelists." Thank you for that, my friend. Good to see you, sir. And of course, El Punk Trace for 99 cents super sticker. Thank you, my friend. It's good to see you. I'm glad to see you back and participating again, my friend. Good to see you. Dad Man Walking is here saying Happy Father's Day. And our friend Pickles says Happy Father's Day. So there you are. Well, personally, I had a great benefit of father figure role models in my life. I was also a product of divorce, but I ended up with two amazing dads. I ended up with two amazing moms, and I think I talked about them on Mother's Day. But I ended up with two amazing father figures, people who really raised me probably what would be considered the proper way up until very recently. Lots of discipline and direction, and and just the encouragement to do better for others. Not to be entirely self-involved. But I was very blessed with that. But I also had a grandfather or two or three or four that also. Yeah, I would again. When you're divorced parents, you end up with two of everything. There are four of some things, but it's anyway. But I was very blessed, and again, I mean, though all of those men came from very disciplined backgrounds, and all of them had some form of military service in their background, with the exception of one, and he was busy doing the work in the country that needed to be done while there were other people at war. So it was it was interesting growing up with all of the World War II and Korea talk and everything else, because again, it gave you a sense of appreciation, but it also at the same time, it kind of taught me what I was supposed to do as a male figure, and I think a lot of times we don't have that anymore. So I feel I'm very lucky. I always tell people my life has been terribly blessed. Ups and downs are always going to exist for everyone, even those that are special or elite. But I was very blessed in my life because I was raised, but in a way that I would consider proper. So, but I don't know. We've got a lot of pop culture stuff that we can reference to, and I don't know. I mean. Again, I'd like to start with a question, and I think everybody can answer it. And I'm not going to call on people to do it this time around. You guys can all go after it as you see fit. But who do you think in let's focus just in television and film was probably the singular role model or father figure that you could identify with? Because it's going to be a different answer. I mean, Lorena gave us George Jefferson, which is something I did not anticipate, but and I'm sure she has others in mind as well. But so yeah, I throw that out to you guys. What do you think? Who do you think that was? Yeah, go ahead, Danny.
I got one I watch every day. It's going to tell my age, but he always teaches his son, and that's Andy Griffith. I love that show.
Gosh.
I can watch it.
Wow.
I watch it every day when I come home because Barney Fife is a fool, and it makes me
Yes, he
laugh.
was.
He was
It makes
fun.
me forget
He was
about.
fun.
It makes me forget about my day at work when I come there. And Andy Griffith, man, he used to always teach Opie these lessons, man. He said in a funny way, he kind of stretched the truth a little bit, but he would always tell him this story. And I love metaphors to explain somebody. That's the best way to explain something to somebody as a metaphor. And he used to always do that and had these little good sayings. He would always teach Opie a lesson. So I always gravitated to him, man. And I still watch that to this day.
Yeah, it was like a modern proverb or something similar every time you watch that show. Yeah, I you know what? I loved that show growing up as a kid. And you know what? I think we all probably watched it in reruns. I think we're all probably old enough to have seen it, every single episode more than a few times.
It comes on TV Land. I watch it every day after work.
There you go.
Yeah,
I missed it on TV Land. I didn't get to watch that one as much, but the one I watched a whole lot on TV Land or in syndication was the Brady Bunch.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
So Mike Brady.
Yeah.
Yep.
Both of them.
Wow. Both Mike Brady's.
Yep. Man, 6 children, man, that's a lot to handle.
It is.
Yeah, I always watch the old stuff, Leave It to Beaver, My Three Dads, or My Three Sons, things like that too, growing up. And that was a big influence as well. Maybe a little older than most people here would have watched.
Oh no, My Three Sons. I was exposed.
I never really watched it.
I was exposed to all that stuff in syndication. That was the lunchtime TV when you come home from school, or it was the after school TV, while you're doing your homework, or pretending you were doing your homework, that kind of thing. So I remember a lot of those shows. Anyone else? Thoughts?
There was My Two Dads.
Really?
My Two
Yeah.
Dads. Yeah.
My Two Dads. Yeah, the girl who was raised by BJ and the Bear Guy, and
it was Greg Evigan and
Yeah.
I can't remember the other guy's name.
Okay, yeah. One was a
It wasn't
biological,
Paul
one was
Reiser, but I want to say Paul Reiser.
I think it was Paul Reiser, wasn't it?
I think it was Paul Reiser, wasn't
No,
it?
I guess it was. Yeah,
Wow.
my memory tends to.
For whatever reason, that show it's not clicking with me, so it may not have been something I paid attention to.
I think I know who you're talking about. I think I know what it is.
Gosh, obviously in film, and again, I would get in a lot of trouble if I didn't mention this, because Thomas Gilkey might actually be in the chat. I think it would be maybe Indiana Jones's father, played by Sean Connery, right? Dr. Jones.
Yeah, I look like him.
Junior. Yeah. Oh,
That was funny.
oh, so great.
Yeah.
Such good casting.
We named the dog Indiana.
He's laughing. You were named after the dog.
Yeah.
If you're talking about,
Named after the-
film, you talking about film dads. I gravitate to Furious Styles. He was the father in
Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood.
Yep.
Yeah.
His wife was like, "Here, Trey, it's just time to be a man." And that's go back to something that Coach said earlier about women can be role models too, as far as father figures. I disagree. Not the fact that they can't do it, but I think there's some things that a woman, no matter how good, how right she is, what message she's trying to give, there's just some things that a man has to teach a son or a child, and vice versa. There's some things that we can't teach our children. So I think it's both. There's some things, no matter how good, no matter how good, no matter how good that mother is, she just cannot touch that son where a father could, or vice versa.
You know, a single parent's always going to be doing two jobs, and they're never going to be two people. It's just all there is to it. You got to have good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's important. You know, when my first wife and I got divorced, it was important that in front of the kid, we always tried to back each other up, no matter if we disagreed with one another or not, because ultimately, I couldn't see through her eyes and she couldn't see through mine. So, you know, we tried to give each other the benefit of the doubt as far as the kid went.
Yeah, I think it does take a good team. I think you're right, Danny. It's just there have been some ladies in my life, my young life, that taught me some very stern lessons that normally would have been directed or at me by a male figure. I do understand what you're saying. You're 100% right. I mean, it's different. There's a different voice of authority from each of the parents. There's no doubt about that. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
If you're talking mentorship, maybe, you know, somebody that isn't maybe there full time. You know, my great grandmother filled a lot of those roles. I mean, she's a tough as nails businesswoman. That woman had a lot of wisdom, which is, you know, I needed a lot of wisdom in my life, having having very young parents, of course. So it was nice to have her close by.
Yeah. Yeah. And I always tell people, I mean, I live such a blessed life because I had so many positives and a lot of discipline, because when you have that many hands around to whoop your butt, get your butt whooped. So I'm just saying, you might get your butt whooped a couple times for the same thing. But anyway.
Yeah. My dad used to say, this is going to hurt you far more than it hurts me.
Wow, that usually it's the opposite, isn't it? But yeah, no, I guess Vigilante Williamson ended. So thank you for sending everybody over here. VW, appreciate you, man. We got New Bomb Turk and Morgaine Holloway in the house. Vizriel, good to see you. Glinzer is here. What's up? Small time rolling in. What's up? There you go. Robert De Niro in A Bronx Tale.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was a great movie.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Wow. Yeah, you could actually, you know, despite all of the failings of the individual person, if you can separate those things that came to light, Bill Cosby and the Cosby Show, during that period of my life, was an incredible television dad.
Yeah,
it broke my heart. He broke my heart. I watched him since Fab Albert. I mean, I grew up with that man. I had so much respect for him. He broke my heart.
It's escaping.
There's another one
right now.
That's a good one too.
Yeah. Also, Uncle Phil. Also, Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Fresh Prince.
yeah.
Yeah, he was so
I was
great.
about to say that. Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Yeah, but go ahead,
Yeah.
Shelley. You had something to say, bud.
Oh, sorry, Shelby.
Oh no, it's fine. I can't think of his actual name, but the dude, the dad from Good Times.
John
Oh,
Amos.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
James
God,
Evans.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love that guy. I thought he was the
Yeah.
funniest character
John Amos.
I'd ever seen.
They were living in the projects, but he was all about teaching Thelma and JJ how to behave.
That man, he was probably. I think Storyman
mom
said
was
it.
awesome too, but
One of the best character actors, but no matter when he came into whatever role it was, he commanded authority in the room. So in his personal life, he was that kind of bigger than life person too. I mean, he was amazing. You just go through your head of all the times you got to see him. It was
the
incredible.
first time I remember recognizing who he was when I was watching Good Times, I'm like, that's the guy from Beastmaster. And it was just, because I'd seen him in so many things and never recognized who he was. And then whenever I watched him on Good Times, I was like, oh, wow, he's a really good actor.
he was also in Die Hard too.
Yeah.
He was in so much stuff. He was in Die Hard. He was in the television properties. I mean, you could find him everywhere. Just incredible. Oh my God!
All the way up until the 2000s and stuff. You would see him pop in and stuff. I mean,
I think he was in through the 2000s. I think it was amazing.
Not too long ago. He's just one of those actors where as soon as you see him in a bit part, it's just like, wow, that's James.
And it makes you smile when you see him too.
Exactly.
He's just good. He's just good. So, go ahead.
The principal from Boy
Coming
Meets
to
World.
America.
Yes, he was. Yeah, Coming to America. He was awesome, Mr. McDowell.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Mirror Sphere. No, that's great, man. He was in so much stuff. Oh my God. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry, Mirror Sphere.
No, I was talking about the principal from Boy Meets World.
I mean, Mr. Feeney.
Mr. Fiend.
You talking about the guy that played the voice of Night
And I
Rider?
really liked the follow-up show, The Girl Meets World, where it's his daughter, and they really respect the principal.
Wow.
He's always going back, and he stands outside the grave, and he talks about how he's trying to figure out how to be a good dad and how to be a good role model. And then he got the neighbor from what was that called?
Home
You can never see his face. He always
Full
has
time.
Home Improvement?
Yes.
Yeah.
Home Improvement. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the dad from Growing Pains, Robin
Tim
Thicke,
Allen.
was pretty
Tim
good.
Allen. He's a good.
Yes.
Good. Yeah, especially Tim Allen in Last Man Standing. I don't know if you've seen that.
They just canceled that show.
Great.
You know what's funny is that I just had this whole conversation about Tim Allen with my father. He's like, I'll just keep watching the reruns forever. I don't care. I'll watch the Home Improvement and Last Man Standing forever.
Mm-hmm. Fred Sanford.
Are they redoing?
That's true, Fred Sanford.
I love Sanford and Son.
That was a guilty pleasure vibe.
I'm coming.
One of my grandfathers,
Oh my God!
I swear to goodness, was him. I swear to God, was Red Fox. I swear to God.
What a tremendous comedic talent that guy was.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
But I mean,
in everything.
Fred Sanford, like three of them that were like, you wanted to strangle them half the time, but at the end of the day, they were like, just you could tell they were just good dudes deep down. Fred Sanford, Al Bundy,
yes,
and Archie Bunker.
Yep, all three.
I was gonna say Al Bundy. That one is probably my top one for like '80s dad.
I don't think Al was a good dad. I don't think he was a good dad.
He was definitely not dad of the year.
No,
but he had his moment.
He did have a few.
He had his moments. I will say that.
There's a YouTube video with got like Al Bundy's greatest insults. Now that is hilarious. 'Cause,
Oh,
man,
You
I'm gonna
got to
have to
send
watch
me the
that.
link to that one.
Yeah.
he's going off on Marcy. He's going off on the ladies in the shoe store. He's going off on Peg. Man, it is funny, man.
Yeah.
My favorite is the whole thing with no ma'am.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was the best.
I still want one of those t-shirts.
That's still relevant today.
Yeah,
It is.
Even more so, almost. I mean, I'm gonna actually print some of those T-shirts up.
Dude,
man.
I gotta get one of those t-shirts.
Yeah.
I think there was some kind of special about like how Married with Children show came around, and they thought that the no ma'am thing that they were going to get a lot of complaints from women, but the most fan mail they got about that segment came from women about no ma'am. That's my favorite one.
It's funny how our narrative worldview is totally different than if you had turned off that television or computer or anything, and your worldview is totally different. You know, from what you're being told, from what you're seeing.
Well, our experiences are broadly different than what we're being told.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like the Star Wars thing, you know, I mean, I've never met anybody in real life that really thought that the sequel trilogy was worth a damn. Never.
Yeah.
Not in real life. I mean, people on Twitter, people on YouTube, maybe, but not in real life.
It's the same with Star Trek Discovery too. You know, there's like 2 or 3 random people on Twitter that try to defend it and attack people that criticize Discovery. And it's like, what's your favorite episode? Who's your favorite character? How does it make you feel? And like, I'm not going to tell you. And then they call you names, and it's like, okay.
All I know is, sorry, go ahead.
No, please, no, go ahead.
No,
Lorraine,
I was gonna say, yesterday, was it yesterday? No, it was Friday. Friday, I did a live stream from Disney Springs, and they had this big store called the Star Wars Outpost. Mm-hmm. I walked into that store. I can't. You can probably count on one hand the amount of sequel trilogy stuff that was in there.
Oh, they don't. They know. They know.
Oh, they do. It's like it's crazy just how much original trilogy stuff is like there that they can barely keep in stock. It's like it goes out as soon as it's in there. But it's just amazing to walk in there.
I got a hot take. I think the prequels are much better than the original.
Wow.
Better.
Interesting.
I sure do.
I came to love the prequels at first.
There is no original movie that is better than Revenge of the Sith. There ain't none.
So if we're gonna go
Revenge of the Sith, I give you that because I love that. That's my second one behind Empire.
All right,
exactly. I'm the same as Lorena.
If we're gonna go controversial, I think that Attack of the Clones is the best of the prequel trilogy.
No way.
I think they haven't made a real Star Wars movie since 1983. Speaking of which, Vigilante was here in an episode.
Hey, Vigilante.
First episode I've been on since Mother's Day, ironically enough. Sorry
That's right. Man. Thank you for being here, VW, and thank you for sending everybody over from your stream. I appreciate that, my man.
Yeah, it was a little ready. Thank you for having me.
Well, you know, we already ran over our influential fatherly figure, role model, folks, whatnot. So if you would like to share, whether it be real life or pop culture or both,
I'll do both. You know what? I got to shout out Granddad Jelante Williamson. As I did mention, I actually have never met my birth father. That's kind of a thing. But shout out to my granddad who was there. Even my stepdad Jelante Williamson, which, that didn't quite work perfectly, but it was better than nothing. And as far as pop culture, even though he's a white man and I'm not supposed to like him, Batman has definitely been a paternal pop culture figure for me.
That's
my favorite character.
A good one.
That's kind of deep.
And he's been a huge, legitimately, there are times where I think, what would Batman do? And it actually turns out pretty good.
Wow. But again, I mean, it's like there's so many influential males that I can think of. I had an uncle who was a policeman who was amazing. Became one of the top cops in the state for a while. I've had all these amazing things. And so I love hearing other people's stories because we've all been touched by a parental figure on Mother's Day, a parental type figure on Father's Day, and that's amazing. So I know you've mentioned that before, VW, about your how do you say it?
Granddad Gelante Williamson. That's how you do it. Family. It's cuz Gelante, mom Gelante, sis Gelante, bro Gelante.
Okay. All right. Okay. I love it. But
Mr. Valente.
There you go. But here's not Berlanti though. No. But anyway,
less talking about feelings in hallways than that.
Yeah, no. But
Before
look,
we go on, guys.
You gotta go.
I gotta go because he's getting
all
fuzzy.
right.
So.
All right, my man. Well, thank
Happy
you so
Father's
very
Day,
much, Mirrorsphere. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day, Mirrorsphere.
Happy Father's
Thank
Day.
Father's Day.
If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. I'm still at 157 last time I checked. So if you guys want to, if you haven't seen who I am, please do. I'm trying to build my channel. I know I haven't done much because this guy's besides my schedule right now.
He's important.
And yeah, so as soon as I can, I'll be doing a lot more videos and live streams and all that kind of stuff.
You should just live stream with him.
Yeah.
I try to when I can, if he doesn't get too fussy.
He should bring in the subs.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here and for being a dad and for taking care of those monkeys. We'll see you next Sunday, I hope, my friend. Okay?
All right.
Thanks,
you,
bud.
All
right. Bye. All right. And then there were 8. Okay.
What's his channel? I'm going to sub to him now.
It's the Mirrorsphere's Origin. If actually one of the mods can probably throw it up there. He is.
Minisphere looks so much like him. It's
I know Minisphere. Yeah.
Mirrorsphere.
Yeah. And VWU, you have a wrench, brother.
Yeah, and I'm looking for, and I found it, so I'm tossing it in the chat.
Yep. It's in the description for the video too. I think I threw everybody's in there. Yeah. Anybody who's
making. There we go. Tina's got it.
Excellent. Thank you, Tina. Tina's a new mod on my channel. I can't believe it took me forever to make her a mod. Yeah, Tina's the best. So
about time, Culture. What took you so long?
I know I'm a bad man, but I want to talk about a few real quick that the chat brought up. First of all, Mr. Rogers as a father figure. I'm sure a lot of people would agree.
Good one.
Captain Kangaroo.
Yep.
Barney, I don't know. The Animaniacs, probably not. But
there's a big drop off between Mr. Rogers and Captain Kangaroo and the other two.
Yeah. And here's the thing. There you go. New Bomb Turk brings up an amazing father figure that we forgot completely about because he was Gabe was so great at that character
and a great poker commentator, by the way, as well.
Oh yeah. For cards, yeah. I used to watch the World Series of Poker. He was friggin' awesome. Oh, absolutely, absolutely, yeah. He's definitely a dad inspiration. New Bomb Turk. I agree with you 100%.
You know what's funny is in the 3rd grade I had a teacher, and then in the 6th grade I had that same teacher again, and her name was Mrs. Goodwin, and we started calling her Carter.
Wow,
Mrs. Carter, because that was kind of the storyline. He kept getting moved up with his kids throughout the years.
That Animaniacs thing. I'm sorry, but now all I can hear in my head is,
me too.
Let's talky more flappy.
Yeah, me too. I got that. I actually hear the song.
Yeah,
I actually hear the song in my head.
Clip.
Yeah. Speaking of a Doomicorn clip, look at that. Bam.
Oh,
I don't know where Makini is. Wait, I do know where Makini is. He's doing Father's Day stuff. So there you go. Yeah. So, but no, let's get through some more comments here. But I think there's a lot of dad influence from pop culture. We definitely could talk about. Like of course, I mentioned Dr. Jones Sr.
I would say any role that Robin Williams played a dad, he always played an awesome dad.
Yeah.
Or a man trying to be an awesome dad.
I thought Star Trek: The Next Generation, Picard was a good father figure, which of course, that's been, I have a theory on what Star Trek Picard is about now. It's Picard's a senile old man, and the weird cast of characters around him, the murderer and everyone, they're just grifters, and they're trying to get a hold of his bank account.
Oh, sorry.
I can't.
Well, there's multiple murderers, but hey, okay. Just a side note, the little housekeeping. I went on Midnight's Edge and I accidentally committed to watching season 1 of Picard.
Oh.
I don't know how you
Don't
let
do
them
that.
trick you into doing that.
for a live reaction with Paulie. So if you want to watch two people suffer
Dude.
for 10 episodes,
Sorry.
I will
yeah.
watch that because I want to see you go through the pain that I had to watching that footage.
I did. I went through the pain. I watched 4 episodes. It took me the better part of at least 6 weeks to 2 months to get through them.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
couldn't finish. I couldn't finish.
Okay.
I always tell everybody, in order to judge a television program, I try to give it 3 episodes because I think that's a fair shot, right? But anyway, so that was just a
So
little
you're about to bail
housekeeping.
on Loki, right?
I rode that train
I could
wreck
do one.
to the end.
You got one.
No,
it's
they have 3, bro.
It was horrible.
it's horrible. It's bad writing. It's retarded. It's
It's one. You know what it is.
If that's the case, I would have never watched WandaVision because the first 3 episodes was crap.
Wow.
I like the first 3 episodes of WandaVision. That's the difference.
I didn't like.
I didn't
like
the
the
first 3
television
also.
thing.
I thought it was that was the draw to me. I didn't like it when it went to the real world.
Yeah, that's what I didn't like either.
They couldn't stick the landing on that sucker. And
No.
yeah.
Totally opposite.
They didn't understand the source material. That's why
No, they
couldn't stick
didn't.
the landing.
In fact,
You know
they
what,
screwed
though?
it up so
Listen
bad. I
to
refused
the
to watch
Division, I
Falcon
think they
and Winter
made 2
Soldier.
different shows. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's you need to watch that, bro. It ain't bad as WandaVision. Just my 2
Well,
cents.
let's do this.
I'd rather watch WandaVision than watch Picard.
No, I'm talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I agree with
Picard is
yeah,
pretty
I
bad.
agree with that. Yeah.
Never seen
Okay, well-
Picard. WandaVision was pretty bad. Like when you really break down how bad WandaVision is, all things considered.
Go back, culture.
Uncle Jesse or the Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh.
I thought that the boys had the criminal past and Uncle Jesse didn't have the criminal past.
I
No,
think
Uncle Jesse had the criminal
Uncle
past.
Jesse used to
Uncle
run
Jesse was a
moonshine.
rough-
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would make
Yeah,
sense.
the
Him and
boys
Bob
ran
Saul.
moonshine for Uncle Jesse. That's
Yeah.
what the whole deal was.
Yeah.
Wook says I was a single dad because wow, dude. Yeah, I've heard of this.
Yeah,
And I love
They do.
love the new logo.
They do.
Love the new logo, Nerfurger. I love that.
That's a good one.
The Men on Full House. Yes, awesome one. You can't forget.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was another version of my
Has
3
Family
dads, right?
Matters or Fresh Prince been mentioned?
Yes.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah, both of them.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I mean,
Anybody-
Uncle Phil growed us up. You know what I'm saying?
He
Well, yeah.
did.
You
He
guys
was a
watched
great
the
TV
reunion?
dad.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
you
there
guys watch
was-
the reunion? The Fresh Prince reunion?
No, I didn't get
It's
to
on
see
HBO
it.
Max, and they have this whole like long tribute to him, and it's beautiful.
good.
Thank
Good.
you. Yeah.
It is very beautiful.
He deserves
It had,
it. I mean,
had me in tears.
we lost too many people. Do you realize in the last 3 years how many people we've lost?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
people that
crazy.
were a big part of the world we live in, shaped
the
it.
good Hollywood.
Uncle
Yeah.
Phil also did the voice of
Hollywood
Shredder.
just died out.
Oh, that's right, he did.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Seth Thoreau says Ant-Man.
Oh yeah. Paul Rudd's character, because he was with his daughter Cassie.
Yeah, he was a good dad.
Yeah, that was a movie I didn't think I was gonna like, and that plot line pulled me in that that he was a dad. So
That's another
Ooh.
trio that made good father figure. If you put them all together, was Kirk, Spock, and McCoy.
Yep.
Because
I
of how they came to decisions together. You had the logic, the emotion, and the common sense in between them.
Yep.
but going back on our Star Trek, Captain Benjamin Sisko.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the
Oh,
best
absolutely.
dads in Star Trek.
Yep.
Hey, who,
Yeah, no
who's
doubt.
the best captain in your mind?
Oh,
Best captain.
Mine is Janeway. I love Janeway.
I'm you know what? If I want to give proper respect, I'm gonna have to say Kirk, but my heart says Cisco.
I would have to say, as a captain, my favorite was Picard, but they've ruined him.
It used to be Picard for me. Now it's Kirk because of what happened.
Yeah.
He's an old man. He's got these grifters that are trying to get their hands on his bank account, murderers and people, and it's just sad.
The 1, 2, 3 podium. The 1, 2, 3 podium is Kirk, Cisco, and Picard before they ruined him?
I would say Cisco though. He's like way more dad-like. If we're going in the dad direction.
Well, Cisco was a different kind of captain than the rest of them, and it made him so much better of a character.
He didn't want to be the captain. He was kind of forced on him.
Yeah, you know what? And I can see why. Danny likes Janeway. I just I
like Janeway.
There were some really good episodes with Cisco doing dad stuff, like the one where they made the sailing ship.
Yeah,
that was a great father-son episode.
And how he kept pushing him into baseball and playing baseball with him all the time.
Another good one too is when he was in that time loop and his son had to keep going that time loop to save him.
Yep.
Yeah, that one was really sad. Yeah.
Oh, that was really sad.
Like Lorena, though. Like Lorena, okay. Bald head, goatee, Cisco is much better than hair and clean shaven Cisco.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Well, and I watched a documentary on his name's James Avery,
the captain.
Yeah,
Avery Brooks.
Yeah, Avery Brooks. Yeah, that's it. He is such an eclectic and intelligent man. Just, I mean, his music, the things that he does. He is such a great person to be a role model for people. If you just look at the kind of person he is.
For Hire?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was Hawk. Yeah.
I watch that all the time.
I got a couple super chats to get to, and I want to highlight a few things in the chat as well. Of course, obviously, Howard from Happy Days was a good father. We had John 42. We talked about Andy Taylor. It was brought up by Danny. He nailed that right out the gate, saying Andy Griffith was such a great show. Yeah. Optimus Prime. Not sure Optimus Prime was a dad, but okay. We did Borg Porg. We did get Carl Winslow. Love him.
Yeah.
The dad from Blossom. I don't know anything about that, to be honest with you.
Oh, I remember that show.
He was a very
wasn't my thing.
Sweet man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ruffle the feathers and say Professor Utonium from
who?
Oh, sorry.
I'm
Professor
sorry.
Utonium from Powerpuff Girls, just to rub the feathers the wrong way. Because he was an awesome dad in that cartoon. I don't know where people were going on that, but he was the bomb.
I love Professor Newtonium as a dad,
That's
especially the episode where he, Sedusa was like Mrs. Good. I'm a good lady.
Mm-hmm.
And the girls had to kind of, at first they thought that their dad was lonely, and then he hooked up with this chick, and they're just like, I don't know, something wrong with her. But he just the fact that, that he took those girls, in.
Yeah,
I
he
really
was
like
essentially a single dad, he was doing a lot for them.
Mm-hmm.
Supporting their superhero things,
I didn't really watch that.
And I can see why someone would say Odin, of course, from the MCU. A pretty decently balanced father. Several other mentions here. I love this. Hey, Deej, what's good to see you, buddy. Homer, I don't know if I think that was the best parenting in the world.
On a regular basis.
He had his moments.
I don't know.
Ward Cleaver.
Executive producer Sol Leibowitz says Hugh Beaumont, aka Ward Cleaver, in Leave It to Beaver. That's quite possibly true. Let's see. George Jefferson, Archie Bunker, Al Bundy, and Fred Sanford in the same room. Good suggestion, Keely Chow. That would have been the funniest thing in the world, to be honest with you.
Oh man, they would have played off each other so well.
Well, George and Archie were in the same room.
That's
They
right.
were in the
same show.
Yeah, it was a spinoff. The Jeffersons were the neighbors, right?
The wife was Wheezy was actually their maid. And when George Jefferson got in a car accident, he used the accident money to invest in a dry cleaner. And then that's when Wheezy quit. So yeah.
I thought Wheezy was made for Maud.
No. I'm sorry, I was not about to finish that.
I still hear. Do you know?
For Maud.
Who?
Remember the show Maud?
Yeah,
I did.
That's another spinoff.
And then there's
Maud. I thought she was. Yeah, the Jeffersons. Louise worked for Maud. That's what I thought.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Louise worked for Maud.
Okay.
I think you
And
might be
George
right.
and Archie
From
kept getting
Rockford
into
Files.
arguments in
There
the
were a
bar.
lot of spinoffs though, because all the family. I remember seeing all the family and George Jefferson on it because he had more hair.
Yeah.
He had, you know how Sherman Hemsley hairline.
Yeah.
It was closer to the.
I
front. It
totally
was more
missed
Stephen
that
A.
because
Smith
I
than
didn't
Park Hogan.
watch All in the Family as much as I watched the Jeffersons. I didn't even know All in the Family existed until my parents told me the backstory about how George Jefferson got his money.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of father figures, Norman Lear, there you go. He made all those shows, and then he became a father
I guess
at like
they're all the same
70
universe.
years old, something like that. That was when he had his first child.
Yeah.
Screw the MCU. There was the Learverse. Apparently, Jeffersons, Good Times,
Yeah.
All in the Family, and Maude were all in the same universe. They were just so that I guess you're both right.
There's a great documentary on Norman Lear. And the funny thing is, I don't know, when the 80s rolled around, it was unclear whether there was pressure because his shows were a little bit too based in reality, you know, a little bit too real, if that was going away or if he was getting burned out from all the spinoffs. It wasn't really entirely clear. But it's a great documentary if anybody wants to watch it. I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah. And you know, thinking about all these, when we're talking about these role models, you notice we haven't picked anything after 2012?
No, and we won't.
Nothing.
Mm-mm.
The only exception was Ant-Man. I think that's the only thing that snuck by.
Yeah, I think that's
It's
the one that snuck in there.
The entire and that movie was developed longer than 2012, really, because that was actually one that's supposed to start the MCU. Anyone remembers Ant-Man or wanted to start? It'll be a Phase 1 movie. So yeah, there hasn't been anything since.
I kind of got one. Disagree if you're wrong. Did we think at the end in Endgame that Tony was a good father for his daughter?
I don't know. He made the ultimate sacrifice, right?
Yeah. Well, I love the way he
issues, though.
interacted with his daughter. Was a very good.
Good example.
I
think that was a good role model. The way he.
I got a hot
spoke to
take
his
about
daughter
Tony Stark in the MCU. So, like, the whole MCU, he's completely self-centered, including the end, because he wanted his daughter to live. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't have made the same decision. I may have. But because he wanted his daughter to live, that blip and that 5-year gap and all of the issues it creates have to happen. They could have snapped so everything just reversed. Remember, there's a time zone. So he could have snapped so everything reversed, but he had already had his connection with his daughter, and he didn't want to lose that. He wanted to preserve her life. So on one hand, it is heroic to think of your daughter first, but on the other, you put all those other lives at issue. And then throughout the whole MCU, he created Ultron. He was a lot of times his own worst enemy. He was the secret villain of the MCU. Is my hot take. So I don't know.
That's actually I can see it.
I can see a logical reasoning for that.
One of the best fathers. One of
Go
the
ahead,
best
Sean.
fathers ever. One of the best fathers ever. Okay, John McClane.
Ooh, great pick.
Well, that kind of
look what
feeds
he's willing to
into
do with his family.
this. Kind of feeds into Frank Castle take here by Kitty Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? One of our normal panel members is sending us a $5 super chat. So thank you for this Machini 90 for a $5 super chat. Says, hail culture and everyone on the panel. Happy special day to all the dads out there. We'll be spending time with mine today. Love you all. We love you too, Machini. Thank you so very much. Guys, if you are not subscribed to Machini 90, who's a very talented artist and creator, you should be. So check and make sure you're still subscribed, because guess what? I'm losing subscribers all the time. And I don't think I'm irritating enough people to do that. So yeah, double check everybody. And thank you for being here. You guys are all awesome. All 56, 7, 8 of you that have been around. I appreciate it very much. Let's see. We had another super chat from wait. Culture is trying to rein it in. It's hilarious. Yeah, I don't care. I love it. We've got a good panel. I've learned a lesson. When you have a good panel, let everybody talk. So there, just shut up. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So anyway, we need an Uncle Jesse origin story. I don't know about that.
You might get one.
Peg Bundy's a deadbeat mom. Oh, look at the ever lovely Lola Meats sends a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, sweetheart.
Great
Says,
avatar.
Yeah, I know. This is the best avatar that we've come across. She had a pretty good one last night on her show, Lola After Midnight. She comes up with some good ones that we can all appreciate. There's an aesthetic involved in in some of this stuff. But anyway, going back to this, hope all you dads have a great day being celebrated. Absolutely. And that's the whole point of the day, is to celebrate those people, those male role models, those father figures that we all appreciate. So Lola, thank you very much for the $20 super chat.
Hey, shout out, just real quick, a shout out to the chat. Thank you guys very much. I just hit 350.
Congrats.
All right.
Yeah, I still think had you not taken the time away, somebody would have been at 500.
My face was purple.
Yeah, I know.
For about 3 weeks.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good, man. Doesn't sound good.
They basically went inside and re-broke my nose. So.
Yeah, and Kitty Bear, we actually covered this exactly and kind of dealt with it the same way you just did. I mean, it's a real shame because he was America's dad for so much of the 80s. Gosh, I don't think you could get away from that concept at the time. But
no.
Yeah.
And all the moral things he tried to teach during Fat Albert and stuff, and just makes it all like makes you want to vomit a little bit.
Yeah, he was really good at
man.
Yeah, and of course, Roger H sends us the Canadian $1.99 super thumbs up, super sticker. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that and your support of everybody. I swear, Roger's everywhere. Thank you, Roger. Robin Williams, of course. I think somebody mentioned that already. In many things, he was an excellent dad. Yeah, many things. He was an excellent father in many of those things.
Well, he named his daughter Zelda after the video game character, so that's already pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Deej seems to think that Archer is a good father figure.
It depends on where he puts the rolled up carpet.
I don't. Oh,
Phrasing.
He did get a tattoo of his,
well, I guess he had his moments.
Yeah.
John.
I love Archer. I'm sorry.
John
Yeah,
Matrix
these hot
is a
takes
good
from Star
man.
Trek are still in the chat. So yeah.
Oh, that's so not right. I remember that one.
That is kind of ironic.
That was funny.
And then, of course, Lola says, I'm a Cisco fan. The guy who played him had a father contention in his contract for the character. Really?
That's interesting. I've never
Did
heard
not know that.
folks talk about that.
But I think that's excellent. The captain of Stargate?
Does he mean Captain Jack O'Neill, or does he mean like the General Hammond? I know, I'm a nerd. I know. But
O'Neill, probably.
Oh, no, I know
Probably
exactly
O'Neill.
what you're talking about, AFK Bar. I just didn't remember the name. You got it faster than I did.
Captain of the A-Team?
Hannibal
when a
Lecter.
plan comes together.
Smith.
Hannibal Smith. That's what it was.
Yeah. Not like
Man, it's been years since I watched this stuff.
Man, the original A-Team show was so great.
It was.
And then I went back and rewatched a few episodes, and I'm like, man, this is cheesy.
Yeah, but it worked, man. And we need more cheesy.
It did.
We need more cheesy.
Stephen J. Cannell,
Oh, the Face Man
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Battlestar.
Oh, Benedict.
Exactly.
Benedict.
Benedict.
Yeah. He was so good in that and in Battlestar. Had they ever been able to keep Battlestar going?
My mom had a crush on him, so.
Oh, this is true. Odin, our Odin from OMB Reviews.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think someone also mentioned Neurotic.
Absolutely.
He's great dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome one. Thank you, sir. Willie Tanner, this is the third vote for the father from Alf. So I would say that there were some moral lessons that were taught at that. Those moments in those shows, I always called the you see to me's, right? And I think I stole that along the way in my life from someone else. But it's that.
Didn't
go
Alf
ahead.
end with Alf actually being abducted by the government?
Yeah.
I think it did.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
What a
I think they came
a
in
sad
second.
ending.
Yeah.
What about Punky Brewster's dad or
Blossom's dad?
Yeah,
I still think that
somebody
Dad
mentioned
from
that.
Growing Pains is probably the best TV dad.
Was Philip Drummond mentioned yet?
Yeah,
I think that was really good.
I don't think he was.
AFK, you said you had one. What do you got?
I haven't been watching the chats. I don't know if someone's mentioned it or not. And I know it's still a slower subject to somebody, but I would at least argue in the first one, Joel from The Last of Us was a really awesome dad figure.
The
In the first game.
How many people have gamed, but I think
In
that
the second game, he just died, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, no, in the second one, no, but in the first one, he's epic. So that's what I count as.
Okay.
Well,
And then
second
what was
one,
the
he was
other
just
one?
a dumb father by trusting these strangers with his life, but like he wasn't like a bad intentionally.
It was outside of the character of the character,
No.
but I mean
Yes.
dramatically different than what it was. So I can't argue with that. But New Bomb Turk says Benny Hill taught me the nuance between burlesque humor and outright crass comedy. Well, I understand where that comes. This is very complimentary. Awesome One says the father of Bear Dog. Well, I hope that's true. I love the little guy. Babar,
Well-
the elephant, right?
That's the other thing we need to make sure we mention is that it doesn't always take somebody who has a child to be a good father figure.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Right.
Jim Gordon.
Yes. I mean, he raised Batgirl, right?
Did we say Alfred yet?
Yeah,
Alfred.
Alfred.
Because Alpha basically did
Yeah.
raise Bruce.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Superman and John Kent in every version of
Yeah.
Superman.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Except
Well,
Man of Steel.
You know what, though? He was-
No, even
Man
Man
of
of Steel, he was a good father
Yeah.
figure.
Yeah, he
What
was
about-
a good father. He died stupidly, but he was a good father.
Yeah.
What about the dad from Dexter? Because he's dead and he's still showing up and teaching Dexter
That's
lessons.
true. He did a
That
great
is
job.
true. That is true.
Man, I
never
love
watched
that
that
show.
I do
I never
too. I
watched it.
love that show. I tapped out the last couple of seasons because
Me too. Me too.
I said I'm not interested.
Well,
Yeah,
I just
it's a
hope the
little
reboot.
weird trying to ship him with his
I
sister.
got- oh,
sorry,
I
Danny.
know that you're husband and wife in real life, but
What,
you
hey,
know.
yeah. Hey, what's up, Danny? I'm sorry. Danny?
I said I got one we all forgetting. Everybody used to
Oh.
watch Little House on the Prairie, Charles Engel.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I used to watch that show all the time.
My grandmother had
Wow.
it on every day. Every day.
I love that
Well,
show.
Lauren Green, you know, on
Lauren Green?
Bonanza, you know,
And Battlestar.
and Battlestar.
Yeah, Battlestar. Well, here's one for a movie one, and I always think about it around Christmas and when I'm on a road trip.
Oh,
Fort
Griswold.
W. Griswold.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Oh, he tries, and then just loses it at the end. But
I don't
Yeah.
think we're going to do that till Monday on Thomas's stream, memes.
I'm not doing it until I have 10K subs. So that'll give me time to
I'm
hit
not
the
doing
gym
it
a little
till
harder.
1,000,000 subs.
Well, I don't mind since I've lost like 200 pounds in the last 3 years. So
Goodness gracious,
really?
dude. Good discipline. Executive producer Sol Leibowitz gives us the entire All in the Family spinoff list. The Jeffersons mod, Checking In, Gloria, 704 Hauser, Good Times, and Archie Bunker's Place.
Wow.
Wow.
And Good Times came out after All in the Family. I thought they came out almost around the same time.
It was a spinoff.
it was a
Was it
spinoff.
So,
Did not. Okay.
No, I know what it is. Evans, Florida Evans was Mars maid. Good Times is a
Okay.
spinoff of Mod, and the Jeffersons is a spinoff of All in the Family. That's what it is.
yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh yeah, now okay, I do remember her on Mod. Now that we're thinking
Speaking of which,
about
shout out to
Yep.
James Evans.
And Mod showed up in Archie. a lot.
Damn, James.
Liam Neeson from Taken. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Find you.
Liam Neeson for
That's a-
everything.
that's a hell of a
Qui-Gon,
I have a certain set of
Ra's al
skills.
Ghul.
What
Kinda-
about Arnold Schwarzenegger and
somebody tell you
Commando?
that.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yes. That's a
yes.
good one that a lot of people don't. That's a great one.
Yeah, we're all trying to forget.
Throat is like
Yeah,
oh,
John
wait, no.
Matrix.
We're trying to forget that Alyssa Milano's in that film. probably.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that was before she got indoctrinated.
How about
You
Arnold?
know, I
Nobody
used to be
gets to
a
jingle
I
all the
used to
way.
be a huge fan of hers. I did.
Hey,
Yeah,
Arnie
speaking
played a
speaking
good
of that, how
dad in
about
Jingle All the Way too.
Yeah, someone in the
Tony
chat
Danza.
mentioned that.
True, he did.
Okay, so
What about
let's
Tony Danza?
let's do a comparison of child actresses from the 80s. Is it better to end up as Alyssa Milano or Dana Plato?
Oh,
Neither.
Rough.
I mean, technically, Alyssa Milano given those choices, man.
Yeah. At least
Not
Alyssa's
like-
still here.
Yeah.
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 And she can
Um,
still change if she wanted to.
Say again,
I'll
Danny.
take DJ Tanner.
I said she OD'd, so no.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Death is not the better choice.
Sad.
No, Commander Ed Strager for $2 says Dr. Venture is best TV dad ever. Wow,
Who's that?
strong take.
Hey,
Strong
has
take.
Charles Xavier been mentioned? X-Men?
Yeah,
No.
somebody in the
Nope.
Oh
chat
yeah,
did.
Charles Xavier. He's
I think
a
Magneto's
father
probably.
It
the
really
better
depends
dad.
on which version.
Yeah, because modern version, he's a terrible dad. He's a
Yeah.
terrible human. He's despicable. He's like horrible.
Raising Arizona.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Well, the boss brought me the bear dog because bear dog dad.
No bear dog.
Oh, hey, bear dog.
I'm good.
Hey there.
I'm good. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he's tired. He still has to. He's got a day with the cousins today that he gets to see, so it's going to be interesting. Frank Lambert from Step by Step. Oh, wait a minute. We forgot one. Master Sidearms brought up.
Yeah.
That's a good example.
Wow.
It is a good example.
Papa Smurf.
Who's the mama of the Smurfs? I know that's the question we've all been wondering. It's only one female Smurf.
It wasn't Smurfette, right? Because that would be
They
gross.
explained it.
Well, I thought Gargamel made
Smurfette was
Smurfette.
created. Yes, she was created.
Yeah, the
La
Smurfs are
la
also-
la 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 la.
Grandpa Smurf was a really good father figure.
Can I just say that?
That origin
That
doesn't
Smurf
make
movie
sense.
was horrible.
Okay, bear dog. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, where are we at? We got to wind down, guys. This has been an amazing stream. I know. We were able to talk about just incredible dads, both and father figures that all of us had experience in our lives, plus all the pop culture stuff too. You guys were great. I love this. We got to do this more often, or at least every Sunday, or on as many Sundays as we can. How about that? Yeah. Every role Michael Landon played was great father figure. Absolutely. Yeah.
Even Highway to Heaven.
Oh, I forgot about that show.
Yeah, great show.
I love
The
that show.
The Sopranos.
He had his moments.
Hey, just off a little bit. Do you guys remember the episode in Highway to Heaven where they played off the Wolfman, the teenage werewolf movie that he was in?
I remember that. Yep.
And showed it on the TV, and then showed him changing in the show as well to a werewolf. It was amazing. It was just great.
I remember that.
Yeah. Runner says Uncle Ben. Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Definitely.
Remember John Walton off the Waltons?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Shoot
Pulling
'em
back
up.
in the far reaches of my memory, sir.
Yeah. Oh, here's an interesting
I'm telling
thing.
my age, man. I'm telling you my age.
Yes, Kip Ellis, are the producer over on Mad Barber Entertainment Channel, mentions that if being a good dad means you get your kids to throw water, spaghetti, and cardboard boomerangs at you, I should be okay. Which he has done in service to the programs over there on Mad Barber Entertainment. Do check out Street Smarts; it's a lot of fun and very funny.
He was the guy who fell asleep listening to your outro the other day, right?
Yeah, all of them
With
did.
the Fosters. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a little bit too much Fosters. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very disrespectful to me on that show. I'm still waiting for my paycheck, by the way, Kip.
Well, that's the man you're supposed to talk to.
I've been trying to.
Matt.
He wants to talk about spaghetti and cardboard boomerangs. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, of course. Thank you, Lord Thoth. Also wishing everybody a happy Father's Day. Be safe and be well. With that being said, I would love to be able to pray you all out, but instead I'm going to have you do your outros. And we will start with our guest panelists this time. Ladies first. I'm going to put her in the proper position. Lorena Creole.
Hey, everybody. I'm Lorena Creole, of course, bringing you that spice to sci-fi and pop culture analysis. Several live streams during the week. We have one actually at 8 p.m. tonight, the Welcome to Florida live stream. Of course, I'm in Florida, going to be live streaming from somewhere in the Walt Disney World Resort. Haven't exactly decided where, but you'll have to tune in at 8 o'clock and find out. So my panel will be there with me, chilling out. Tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, Toxic Femininity over on Midnight's Edge channel, of course, with Nina Infinity and with Mandy Summers, breaking down pop culture news from female perspective. And Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on my channel, Cameron Pasha is going to be my guest. So this is actually going to be my summer camp series, and we're going to have Cameron talk about writing, what's good writing, what's bad writing, what's excellent writing. So kind of just picking Cameron's brain and Cameron giving advice to us and all of that. So please do drop in and bring your questions for Cameron. And for the next 3 weeks or so, Fridays is the lunch table, which is being hosted by Fat Steven Seagals while I chill for a couple of weeks. So please also do check that out. Love being on the channel. Thank you so much, Culture, for bringing me on. Can't wait to do this again sometime.
I'm glad. I am so glad that you were here, and of course, I have to. I have to say that I really love the Welcome to Florida streams. If you guys can check that out tonight, I'm sure you will enjoy it. Of course, our other special guest today is Danny. Danny, Comic Chat. Love his fresh perspective and take. It's very thoughtful, and I appreciate you being here today, Danny. Anything you want to promote, sir?
Thank you. My name is Danny, aka Comic Chat. I am I'm one of the 4 members of the Chaos Central crew. That includes myself, Chris Knight, Anzo Hodges, and Guy Scar. We have shows Monday nights, Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, all at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My particular show is the Chaos Conversation. We're basically 6 questions, 10 minutes, and we discuss anything from sports, pop culture, Marvel, DC, Star Trek, Star Wars, whatever tickles our fancy. Then on Tuesday nights, Anzo's show is Chaos List. He does 3 questions, and Wednesday night at 9 p.m. is Chris Knight's show, The Rule of 3, The Touch of Basco, where he does 3 questions that are timed, 3 minutes each, 4 people. You get 3 minutes to discuss whatever topic he discusses. Also, please catch me tonight later on. We got 2 roundtables going on. The first at 5 p.m. is the Loki Roundtable. Chris Knight hosts that show. And then at 8:30, we have the Bad Batch Roundtable, which JJ Sith Lord hosts that show. And I'm also tonight later on around about 10:30, Rob Storm Live. So get an opportunity to subscribe to my channel. I please appreciate it. And thank you again for having me on the show, man. I definitely appreciate it. Great show. Great panel.
I'm privileged and honored that you're here, sir. I appreciate that, and you hang out with a lot of other people that I can't wait to get on the panel as well. Thank you very much for joining us today, Danny. Now we'll do our latecomer, our very good friend, Vigilante Williamson. Sir, tell us a little bit about what's happening with you.
All right. I just made it to 500 subs, so thank you, everybody.
All right.
Culture, thank you, Wes. Thank you, Lorena.
Congratulations.
You are very well,
And,
well deserved.
A lot of you guys have how I make. What happened? I'm sorry.
I said, good job. Good job.
I was there. Thank you, man. Thank you. I couldn't hear you because I was talking over you because that's what I do. That's how I got to 500 subs, by talking over people and try to plug my stuff. But I talk about pop culture, politics. I've started to do retro gaming. And just recently on my channel with my partner in culture crime fighting, Matt, for 5-Ball Production, we had Robert Meyer Burnett on a Thursday show.
I saw that.
Yep, it was good.
Nice.
I'm posting clips. I'm trying to I saw a few channels that may have cracked the algorithm, because it looks like YouTube is TikTok is algorithm. So I'm posting shorter clips. I'm going to be posting a lot more clips and a lot more content in general. And of course, I do a lot of live streams. I do a ton of live streams. Every Wednesday, Culture Crime Fighters is either on my channel or Matt's. And then Thursday, I do a Vigilante Wednesday show unless we have a special guest like we did this week. Otherwise, I do pop-up streams, and I'm like I said, a lot of content, a lot of different content, not just, SJW bad, even though we talk about that and we talk about some of the implications of the culture war, but also retro gaming, kind of chill stuff, and just random things I find interesting as well. Also, some positive news. Always end the Vigilante Wednesday show with positive news so we can remember that people are actually good to each other despite all the craziness that's going on in the world. So thank you, Culture, for having me. Thank you for your help in getting to 500 subs. Again, thank you, Wes, who also was hugely instrumental in that, and Lorena as well for having me on her channel. And thank you anyone else in the chat. Thank you anyone who shared anything, and thank you all those who are already subbed, because I know a lot of you are. But if you haven't, because it has been a while since I've been back, please, I would like to earn your sub. Please give me a chance to do that, and I'd appreciate it. Otherwise,
Well, and
thank you. And,
it's well worth it.
Father's
And
Day.
that stream the other day was incredible. You did an excellent
much
job with
so.
RMB. Yeah, very much. Very, very, very wonderful. We have, of course, Storyman Jack, the author and creator, the man who will give you his stuff for free if you give
Hey,
him
there you go. Now, I know it's been a while since I posted a story or anything, but I am currently writing as much as I can. Keep in mind, there's a lot of cyber stuff going on, and I work in IT. So, like last week, I worked 80 hours. So it's a little tough to get some videos going. But I've got a story I'm going to upload either today or tomorrow. I've got one that I kind of con somebody into collaborating with me on. Hopefully, I don't want to say it'll be up soon, but I want to give them time to take a look at it and give me some notes. And then I'm working on a story for the community. And of course, I have about 5 more chapters of Circles Riven before it cuts off, because I'm not going to post the ending, since that would ruin the novel. So, but I'm constantly writing. Every free moment I've gotten, I will be writing, and I will have a lot of videos coming up very soon.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you being here. I'm glad you're back, and I can't wait to get through more of your content, my friend. And I love it, whether I'm reading it or not. I think you're very, very good. So hopefully other people will agree as well. And then, of course, another guest who's becoming a regular panelist, if he's not already, one of my buds, Shellback, also known as Shell Dad for the day. What's going on, Shell Dad?
Well, I need to mention. I think I failed to mention my pawpaw, my dad's dad, who's I have to credit him with being the original reason I'm such a gearhead. So my love of cars and just motor vehicles in general is started with him. Watching him do things in the garage, but anyway, my channel, the latest thing I've been doing is anime, my Anime Academia show.
Nice.
We just finished we just wrapped up Afro Samurai. The episodes, and we'll probably do the movie next. Cool. And I do that with Close Call Kid, who is Paulie, Latino Slant Paulie. That's his cousin, and he also helps out with the with the X-Files and the Deadwood shows that we were watching. And that's what we do on the anime show here. We started doing with Afro Samurais. He links us up through Discord, and so we watch the show on Discord and talk about it afterwards, like we did on Paulie and Nick Weiser's channel with the X-Files and stuff. So you please stop by, and give me a sympathy subscribe or something. I don't care.
Well, I think you'll get a little more than that. The Anime Academia is a pretty good stream. I hope everybody gets a chance to check that out. And finally, I have to promote the regular lady that we have on the panel, the one that keeps us in line usually for most of our streams. FK Bard, or Brad, as I think Nerdrotic used to call you.
Yeah. Thank you. I know I don't do a good job of keeping you guys in line, but no, that's fine. Thanks. I don't have anything to promote for myself, but since it's going to be tomorrow too, I'm going to say check out Thomas Gilkey's stream. He's doing a live stream, and it starts at 3 p.m. Eastern time in the afternoon. Yeah. And he's aiming to make it incredibly long. Like, I think he said 10 hours. So that's plenty of time for people to pop in and say, hey, and he's got a lot of guests that are going to come in periodically. So yeah, make sure you guys do that, as well as checking out all of these people's lovely things that they're doing, because they're all awesome. And I don't know, other than that, it's always fun that you let me be here. So thanks, Culture.
Well, I don't let you do anything, but I do want to say thank you for being here. And for everybody on the panel, we also have the man of the hour, the person that needs to promote his Odyssey, our very own version of Joe Rogan.
He's better
Wes
than Joe
Moody.
Rogan.
Oh, the Wes
Way
Moody
better.
webcast.
Way better.
Ian, you're muted.
So
CIA is after
hey
him, that's
everybody.
why.
So I attempted to promote my Odyssey in my first super chat, and YouTube apparently doesn't like that. And I shared a screenshot of that with the panelists in our group. And so I posted my Odyssey in the chat, and you can find me there. We do streams on Odyssey that are exclusive Odyssey content, where we can do things like actually use fair use and use clips of copyrighted material and fair use's intended use. And we can, have content that YouTube doesn't allow. So I talk about current events, pop culture, occasional conspiracy theories, depending on how you view that, occasional car talk, gaming streams, and I will vlog about whatever the heck I want to, because it is my webcast. Hope to see you there, my friends. Make sure to subscribe to everybody on this amazing panel. Happy Father's Day, and we will see you.
Thank you very much, Wes, for ending it on a great note. I have to rotate this one more time and say this. Thank you all for being here. I had an awful lot of fun. Our special guests were great. I could not have asked for a better panel today to discuss stuff about fathers, male role models, and an exceptional Father's Day. Both Danny and Lorena were fantastic, and I can't wait to have them back again when they're available. But we're all really busy people, so sometimes it takes a while. But I do appreciate your time, guys. I'm going to end the show the way I always do. I'm not even going to promote anything that I'm doing, because I'm everywhere. I'm going to be on Lorena's later. I'm going to be hanging out with Wes, a couple times this week. I got stuff going on with just like AFK, where I'm going to be hanging out with Thomas tomorrow on his lengthy stream. But you guys are the whole reason we're here, and I want to say thank you to all of you out there in the chat for spending a little bit of your Father's Day with us. And here we go. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, let me get the right exit. Bye.
See ya.
Peace, everybody.
Look at all those great channels.
So much talent in our community.
Absolutely.